And how are you all, my dear friends? We're definitely going to carry on with our understanding of the different zodiac signs and archetypes on many levels, and also Kabbalah. And today we're going to zoom in onto Aquarius, which is definitely the 11th zodiac sign when we start from Aries, as all the world, the ancient world and the modern world, is doing so. And this happened to be in the Jewish month of Shvat. This is what it's called, and it comes from the word Cain, or rather, meaning that this month is working against resistance. In other words, people that are born in this month and this zodiac sign of Aquarius are people that know how to rise and work many times against resistance. And not all the time their lives are very simple, as we're going to see. At the same time, they're very spiritual and they're able to grow spiritually. And also it's the month where the actual Torah, the tree of life, the Etz Chaim, was actually interpreted by Moses, the giver of the one who handed over the Torah all the way from God. And also it's a month where good tidings are coming to any person as such. Also in the middle of this month, it's a very special holiday of the trees, where they become renewed every month, every year, like you have a birthday, like the trees also have a birthday. And we pray during this month to have a very pure heart as well. So this is the introduction. Where do we go with this? So, well, there are three beautiful letters, three, not only two as normally, but three beautiful letters which are governing, in charge of this month, which are in the English, the A, the B, and I would say the TZ, right? So it would be maybe the Z, right? In the English, in the Hebrew, it's Aleph, it's the Bira, and it's the Tzadik, right? Which in the English translation, there is no such letter. It usually comes a TZ, like in the word Tzila, right? And that will be usually the TZ or just the Z if you have such a letter in your first name, middle name, or your last name. What do these letters actually mean if they are appearing within your name, right? Or the name of your spouse, significant other, your children, etc. So the letter A is the one that controls the sphera or the chakra of the crown, the sphere of crown, and also the planet of Uranus, which once only does it appear in the entire zodiac cycle, which is here in the month of the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And it usually means that a person like this is innovating, he is very individualistic, and he wants to create changes in his life and other people's life. The letter Aleph, the letter A, symbolizes an incredible enlightenment, a divine enlightenment, the ability of a person, the ability to rise to a level of faith, to come to be united, the seeking of truth, the seeking for love, and the joining and the connection with the Ein Sof, which also starts with the Aleph letter in the Hebrew, which is the endless consciousness of God, and the need, the eternal need to rise to the level of let us walk in that path and be an exemplary sample in our own lives of being and walking in the image of God. That's letter A. The letter B symbolizes the control and the governing power over the planet of Saturn, which is also in charge of this month. Now, this month is governed by two different stars, two different planets. One is Uranus, the other one is Saturn. And it usually brings with it the limitation, the coldness, which can come out as low blood pressure, as well as sometimes pessimism and being very realistic. The letter B on its own, if it comes out, it appears in your name, in your last name, or in your middle name, symbolizes lots of blessings, lots of multiplicity in a good way, right? Be fruitful and multiply. The internal side of the home, wanting to build a home, the internal life of spirituality, life in itself, and creation. All these powers are given into the hand of somebody who's born in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And also, right, this letter B is tending in the Etz Chaim, in the tree of life, towards the right, and it's definitely in charge of the Sephirah of Chesed, the Sephirah of kindness. And so these people love giving of themselves with everything else being included. So realize, if you go back to, hold on, we also had the letter B when we spoke about the previous one, which was Capricorn. Absolutely true. But there we had different kind of application of this letter B, and there was more constriction with it, even though they're very wise and bright and wonderful people. But here it applies more towards the right side of the innovation and making changes and creating reformism within their lives or other people's lives. The last letter, which the Z, or truthfully the ZT together, like in the word Tzila, for example, which is, there's no such letter in the English, right? That definitely governs the actual month and zodiac sign of Aquarius, and it definitely is exemplifying the ability to be individualistic, to be innovating, right? An endless amount of ideas. And we're going to discuss this as well. Obviously, we need to have an element, a foundation, which will hold all this in its bucket, and this is the element of air. And that applies to communication, very high intelligence, and the ability to think. And these are the major powers that somebody that was born in this month has within themselves. Very good. So now we're going to zoom in into and dig into the month, or rather the tribe, which is in charge, the leading tribe, the leadership that was given to this month according to the Torah, which tells us a lot about the characteristics of somebody born within this month or having any one of these letters, and so much more so when it's few of them, A, B, or Z, or ZT as a combination. This is the tribe of Asher. And Asher was called Asher because the actual name means praise. Praise to somebody, right? When we have this child, and his mother was definitely praised, Leah was definitely praised by other ladies when she had this extra child of Asher, who happened to be very rich and who happened to have in his plot and land that was given to him in the land of Israel an incredible amount of olive trees from which he made a fortune, and his daughters and son were incredibly beautiful, handsome, and pretty, and his daughters used to marry the high priests and kings that usually were anointed with olive oil as such. So if we do go to understand this beautiful tribe of Asher, we learn as follows. People that are born in this month, they have the ability to be praised by others for the incredible good deeds. They're very pretty and beautiful, these kind of people, whether it's men or ladies. They're quite well acquainted, and it's very good for them either to the usage of oil, and oil also means that ability to connect between the spiritual and the physical, and quite a lot of bounty and prosperity is given within this month, right? And usually they can find within their own plot under themselves, they can find the actual treasure hunt. In other words, they don't have to go far from east to west, but listening and tapping in intuitively to their own gifts that they were given, they will find exactly these people, what they have to do in this world. And we'll sort this all about. There's an incredible will and wish and a need within these people for freedom and to be able to do whatever they wish to do. And this kind of personality is called the member of the community. What does that mean? It means that these kind of people are very humble. They're accepting of everyone else. And they would definitely want to be in the orientation which is social. They would love to give to other people. They would love to have other people around them. They're definitely social birds in what they do. And so at the same time that they are humble, they would love to help and serve the community by and large. The actual conception is that when you see a world without giving, without social interaction. This is a kind of a world that doesn't have a tikkun, or reparation, or transformation, and cannot come to completion. And therefore, there is a credible need in them to influence and make an impact and be public influences on other people. In the tikkun transformation, right, this kind of a person needs to find spiritual mentors, which are very great and refined and pure, from which to draw all that spiritual knowledge. Spiritual mentors, once they have received that knowledge from higher sources, which are very good and pure, they will definitely want to give it over to others. And so the personal interest is for a very refined, well-corrected kind of society, community, and to be able to give to each other in a symbiosis within lots of humility as such. The Sephirah, as we mentioned before, the Sephirah of Yesod, which is foundation, which usually is able to give over to others, especially prosperity, but on condition, very much so, that they themselves guard the ethical and moral values, and they live within the place of ethical and moral, keeping and guarding their own borderlines when it comes to marriages, relationship, and I think you're wise enough to understand what I mean. The vulnerable place within the body is definitely the thighs. The thighs, and sometimes very much the stomach as well, because some of them have got a great need to eat, and that has to be held back, and it can show itself in, as we mentioned before, low blood pressure, low metabolism, hard indigestion, as well as sometimes a tendency towards issues and vulnerability and weakness in the knees, and that has to be worked at with any physician or health coach and things of that nature. They would definitely want to justify their very unique existence, and that can be done by bringing up their own individuality and bringing it up and letting it shine in the world, because these people are very ambitious, which is a very good point about them. And why not? And all they should need to do is to rise up and shine when it comes to exactly that, right? Since they're very creative and very much original, they've got so many talents and gifts that were given to them with which to do. They show quite a lot of patience when it comes to the other people, and they're able to innovate and be open to new ideas, and definitely the open mindset. And they might have very different kind of mindset than other people, and that's part of the God's gift that was given to them. Different doesn't mean wrong. Different means different ability to look at the world, to look at situations from a different, new, fresh perspective, which is wonderful. The need and the ability to research, and the curiosity and the humility, as well as communication, allows them to be very unique, beautiful addition to the puzzle and to the complexity of our society. Since they are very idealistic, they will always seek for justice and for unity. And if they will see any kind of evil that was done, they will try to rectify it very much and change and reform the society into one which is very much on an equal basis between men and ladies, and looking out for the children, and all of that, right? They might feel a great deal of lack inside them, especially spiritual lack or emotional lack, and therefore there is no other source that can actually fill them in. F-I-double-L, the feelings, F-E-E-L-I-N-G, and that is the Torah. The Etz Chaim, the tree of life, can definitely fulfill and fill everything inside them, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and practically, and that's up to them, absolutely. Since this month is also, as we mentioned, the ongoing birthday of the trees, and a tree represents growth and development, as a human being is also being an analogy to a tree in the Torah, where it says the man is the tree of the field. Therefore, this is the mission And the purpose of a person born in this month is to develop himself spiritually and try to rise and elevate himself all his life through the study of Torah, through the keeping of commandments, through developing of one's personality and working at one's attributes as well, which is wonderful. Okay. The fear will be to lose that kind of influence and making an impact, to lose their originality, to lose their dream and not live up to their own being individualistic and very creative in this way. Very nice and well. And so the very special psalm that can be said by these people that were born in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, have got an A, B, or Z in their name, is the chapter number 23, as well as reading in the Torah, in the book of Numbers, chapter 7, right? There are few verses, few paragraphs for every tribe, then tribe leader, and they must read the words where it starts on the 11th day. The president for the sons of Asher is Pagiel ben Ochran. Reading these few verses whenever they feel stuck, whenever they feel challenged, will be very, very comforting for these people and will help them to open the prosperity channels in this life and world. Thank you so much. We'll see each other.